So the previous video you just watched is over a year old. I'm here today to explain to you a lot of the details that were left out. Now this Nutcracker video was one of my first YouTube videos ever, and I wasn't really good at splicing, dicing, editing, or explaining my videos. So today I'm going to show you close-up details of how this Nutcracker was built. More importantly, answer some of your questions such as how is it standing, what's on the inside, how was the weatherproofing done, and how did I make the base. So hopefully today's edit, which comes a year and a half almost after I made the original one, will answer some of the questions that you guys have. So join me. So let's start with the base. This is a 3/4 inch piece of plywood that's been cut 24 inches by 24 inches. Now on the bottom over here, I've placed 2x4s just to hold it up. I had scrap pieces of 2x4 left over, so I used that all along the sides. And if you see some gaps right here, that's just because this is the only piece of scrap I had left over, and I used what I had. But normally you'd want to use 4 pieces of 2x4 and raise it up the ground by 4 inches. So let's turn this around to show you what's underneath it. So as I turn this over, this precious spider just decided to walk out towards me. So let's move on. Okay, so this is what it looks like on the bottom. As you can see, there's some screws right over here. And these screws over here are attached to 2x3 inch wood that's inside over here. Now so I put the wood on the top, 2 pieces of wood. I screwed them in through the bottom, and then I put the PVC over the wood. And that way we could attach it with some screws on the bottom. As you can see, I have 2 screws over here that are attached to the wood on the inside. Then as we go up here, you can see the wood right over here, see? So that we can attach this cylindrical plate right here to the wood that's down here. So that just joins it into one whole piece right there. Okay, so let's talk about this contraption of wood right over here. As you can see, we have a circular disc. Now they sell these discs unfinished like this, pre-cut at hardware stores. This one is a 12-inch diameter. This piece of 2x3 it's 11 inches long. This one over here is 9 inches long. They're both 2x3s. And you're asking, why do you need all of this? So the reason for this is so that we can attach the body to this right over here. So this plate right here is attached to the wood that's inside. This wood is attached to this one, and this one right over here is attached to the plate. And once we put the body of the Nutcracker over on the top, we'll be able to drill through the Nutcracker right over here. We'll be able to put 2 screws through the Nutcracker to this and 1 more over here so that it is attached to this one piece. So it goes attached to it like that. Now you might want to put another 2x3 over here or over here. It's really up to you. You could put 3 of them, you could put 4 of them. This is how I did it so that I could put some screws on the side. But as you can see, I did it in an angle. The reason is because I actually don't know why I did it in an angle, now that I think about it. I could have done it from right to left, but I did it in an angle. The shoes go right there. I think I probably did it like this because of the ornament hands that go on the side would have been in the way, and that makes sense. I wouldn't have been able to have drilled through with his ornament hands. As you can see, they're Christmas balls that have been painted. So I did it in an angle so that I could drill from the front and I can drill from the back and then put 2 screws on this back piece over here. So let me show you how I put him on. And we're going to put it right on top. So I go like this. And just like that, it goes on top. And as you can see, the wood is right back here. Let me turn this just a little bit. And I can see a hole right here. I actually don't see a second hole. I remember I didn't put 2 screws on this one, but it's advisable to put 2 screws. So I put an exterior grade 2-inch screw right over here with a washer. I did the same thing on the side. Remember we talked about the sides. We put a screw there, a screw here with a washer, and to ensure that I knew where the wood was, I marked it right over here on the plywood disc. A mark where the wood is, another mark over here where the wood is, so you're not guessing where you're going to screw it into. And once you put the screw with the washer to hold it, you're good to go. I painted the washer the same color I painted the body, red, and we were good to go. It was perfect. It lasted the entire season. We got wet and windy weather here in December. Okay, so his shoulder pads, which are just a PVC cap, it comes right off. See, it's not even attached. So we'll put this to the side. And when we look inside, again, we have an odd contraption in there. Let's zoom in. So as you can see here, we have a piece of twine, of pink twine, that goes all the way to the bottom. Trying to zoom in. Which is holding on to the Christmas ball. Now, why is that? It holds on to the Christmas ball so that it can move just a little bit, just like that. And this is, I believe it's a 3-inch Christmas ball that was just painted this rosy pale color over here. So it's attached to this screw right here, and then I put some hot glue around it so it just wouldn't untie itself. But this screw right here is attaching this arm to the body. I put a regular exterior grade screw, I think it was a 2-inch screw. I put it through there, and it attached this arm to the body. And I did the exact same thing on the bottom. You can't see it now, really, because the Christmas ball is there. But yeah, I see the screw right there. I attached the screw from the bottom opening before I put the hands on, so that I have a screw on the top and the bottom, and that way the arm stays in place. So the top over here is just a pizza tray. This is a little bit wider than 12 inches. I linked it in the description below, and it goes right on top of it, which prevents the rain from getting on the inside. So let's get on the top and see what's in there. Okay, another weird contraption of mine. So we have 2 pieces of wood. These are 1x4 pieces of wood that were placed on the inside. They were held on the inside while I screwed in the screw on this side over here. And that way, it was just, because this is cardboard. This is cardboard. You don't want to just drill into it and leave just one screw right there. It'll just rip out. So by placing these 1x4 pieces of wood in there that are probably 8 or 9 inches long, we were able to give it some leverage. So when it screws in, it's holding it back with all of the wood force. So that's what I did on both sides. And I can also see wood on the bottom. Yep, on the bottom there's wood as well, and that's where the bottom of the arms went screwed right into. And that way, the arms won't fall off, and they won't make a hole or tear the body of the Nutcracker out, because it's just a wider area that it's pulling on. As you can see, the Nutcracker basically looks the same as when I put it out. It did an exceptional job at withstanding the elements, considering that this is made out of compressed cardboard. But the weatherproofing that I did was superb. Nothing ran. The paint stayed the same. This is still solid. It's really good. So the weatherproofing worked, especially since we have wet Decembers here in North Carolina. And that's how it is. Super simple to make. I hope this edit over a year later helps you create your own Nutcracker much easier than the last time around.